If you're looking to create a presentation quickly, easily, and have it look good, I got you. Let me show you how to do it using Canva. In Canva, you're going to want to hit Create a Design and go to Presentation. Here, you'll see a blank template, but what's really cool about this is there are thousands of templates you could choose from. I could choose a Halloween one if I want, because I want to host a Halloween night and do trivia. I can click on this, and I can preview this by hitting the plus symbol, which will add it to my slides, and hey, that looks cool. Maybe I want to change the name, Pat's Trivia Night. But maybe I don't want to do that, and I, will want to try a different, more professional theme. Well, I can go back and I can go to maybe professional. Again, I'm just using their search to find these, right? There's a lot. Let's go to this one right here, this company profile. And if I hit apply all 15 pages, that will actually just kind of replace everything that's there. And let's hit replace all pages. And there it is. I have a whole slide deck already here, and I can just change out the images and the words if I want to. I can add new slides. I can remove them. I can change them around. Let's say I want the goals to go over here in slide number 4, and there we go. It's as simple as that. And again, I can just replace the things as we want to go along. Goal number 1, goal number 2, and goal number 3. All right, a couple really cool things that you can do really quickly here. Let's go to the title page, and I'm going to change this to Pat Flynn. And this will be how to create a presentation in Canva. Maybe I want to open this up a little bit so it kind of fits a little bit better. Let's center that. You get a lot of nice guidelines in there to center it. And I want to add an image of me, right? This is a presentation and I'm presenting it, and maybe I'm going to be at work or on a large stage. And it's kind of nice to have your personal brand on there as well sometimes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Elements, and this is really cool. If I go here and I type frames, I get a lot of these images that have like a sky and a cloud and a hill. Well, I'm going to click and bring and drag over this circle. And actually, I want to bring it to the front. As you can see, it's kind of behind this text. I want to bring it to the front. So I'm going to hit these 3 dots and hit bring to front. That way it brings it to the front. But what's unique about this, and the reason for this image here, is I don't want the image of the cloud. I want an image that fits this shape. That is why it's called a frame. So I'm going to go to Uploads and choose an image I have of myself and drag and drop it onto that circle. As you can see, when I hit that circle, it fits in there. And I'm going to let go, and there it is. And now I have that shape with myself in it. But, I'm not centered, so I'm going to double-click on that, and I'm going to move the big image, as you can see behind there, it's a rectangle, to the center. Click out of it, and there we go. But, you don't need to see my kitchen and my background there, so I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to drag the corners just so it's my face and maybe my thumb there kind of showing the presentation area, which is kind of cool. Boom, there it is, and I can resize this from here as well. So let's say I want to set it up so that this is sort of centered here, and then it's pointing to this text. But the text is kind of behind here. It's in the way. So I'm going to click on the text. I'm going to drag this edge over and kind of center it from there. So I can just move things around really quick. I don't need these 3 dots. I'm going to delete that. And then www.smartpassiveincome.com. Actually, who needs a www? Nobody. There we go. Actually, if I want to center all that, I'm going to drag and drop a box around. That kind of groups it for a sec. And there we go. Now, if I want to see what this looks like at full screen, I go to Present, and I'm going to hit just Present. We're going to keep it on standard for now. I'll show you what the other things are later. Present, and there we go. Full screen. And if I hit the next button, it's going to move on to the next slide. I can go back using the back arrow. There we go. Now, we still have to make some changes, right? For example, this image of these women, cool. I don't know who these people are, and I just want to change that image. So I'm just going to highlight that image, and I'm going to hit Delete. And there we go. There's the hill with the sky and the cloud. That means it is a frame, so I can bring another image in there. I'm going to go back to my Uploads area, and maybe I want to bring in, let's see, there's got to be another one of me in there somewhere that would work. Here we go. This one of me with some headphones, and boom. That looks pretty nice. I can resize it if I want, move it up, move it down. We'll just keep it like that. About Pat Flynn, former architect turned entrepreneur, ... And you put a little bit more. Now, this read more situation, this would be useful if you're going to be sharing this online, and this is where it's being presented, and people can come in here and click around. But I'm just going to delete that because this is going to be a presentation, for example, that I do in the classroom or at work or on stage. Okay, moving on. Actually, you know what? This dark background color doesn't really work for me. I want it to be a different shade of blue. So I'm going to click on the background and click this color here, this little square. And what's really cool is it now gives me a bunch of different colors. What's also cool is this is very unique to Canva is I can click see all here next to photo colors. It actually gives me like the different photos that I have, and I can match the colors based on that, which is really cool, right? So you'll see that you can go through and see that's kind of my skin color, brown and sort of darker for my shirt. Actually, you know what? I don't want that. I want a lighter blue. So let's go to light blue. Okay, it's too light. Yeah, that blue's nice. Reminds me of University of California at Berkeley, which is where I went. And what's really cool about this is that changes it on that slide. But if I want to change it on all slides, guess what? I can hit this change all button. Boom. And now all the slides are that color, which is really, really cool. Let's move to slide number 2. Let's say I want to point to this microphone just for fun and call it out. This is a Heil PR40, and I want to call it out for some reason here on this particular image. You wouldn't really do this on an about page like this, but I'm going to do it anyway just to show you. So I'm going to go to Elements, and I'm going to type in arrow, and I'm going to scroll and look for an arrow. In fact, I just want a graphic. Look at all of the arrows that I could choose from that I can drag and drop on this page. Now, you'll see a bunch of them are moving. I would just be very careful about movement. For example, if I were to put this on here, it's like, if you present that and you're trying to talk, that's just going to be really distracting. So I'm going to delete that or undo. And I want to find an arrow that's sort of pointing that direction that looks nice, that is still. Okay, that one looks really nice. Boom. Let's say I want to rotate a little bit. So get this sort of rotate button here. And let's say I want to change the color of it, right? So it's a white one, which is fine. Let's say I want to make it red. So I'm going to go to color, and I'm going to hit red, and it just changes it immediately. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And now what I want to do is add text. I want to call out the name of this microphone just for fun. So I'm going to hit text, and I'm going to add a text box like that. And this will be this is a Heil PR40 microphone. All right, so I'm going to bring this over, and I want to make this font something that is maybe one that we're already using. So there we go. This is a Heil PR40 microphone. Let's just see what that looks like. So if I go to Standard, Present, there's slide number 1, slide number 2. Very nice. Now let's say I don't want to use for the next slide any of these templates. I want like a slide that's a full screen image. So what I'm going to do is I can either just bring my cursor to the middle here and add page, or really quickly kind of right click that and hit add page. It'll do the same thing. And there we go. I can delete this background if I want. Just hit delete. And what's really cool is I can add a background. So let's say I want to add, this earth as a background. And it kind of just fills it out for you, which is really nice. No, I don't want that. I want this kind of like landscape. No, let's go here. No, let's go back to the earth. Just, again, we're just playing around, keeping it fun. And that could be used for, I can add text on there and add a heading like, this is the earth. The earth. This is the earth. All your base are belong to us, right? And I can make this bold so it stands out. I can, animate it a little bit if I want, which we'll talk about later. But let's say I want to also add an image of me in a very unique way. So what's really cool about this is I can go to, let's say, let's go to uploads, and let's say I want to take an image like this image here, which is like me trying to do like a Drake thing at one point, right? Where I have that, and then I have like this one here too, right? You might have seen that meme before. Now, what I want to do is I want to remove the background of each of these images, and really, really cool and unique with Canva here. I think it might be in the Pro plan, or it might be free for everybody. I'm not sure. By the way, if you want to check out Canva, use my affiliate link, patflynn.com/Canva. If I click on this image and hit Edit Image, BG Remover, that's background remover. I'm just going to literally hit that once, and it'll do all the work. It'll take 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1.5, 1/4. Okay, it takes a little bit of time, but there we go. Hit apply, and look at that. It literally like the way it crops it is so nice. I try to do that kind of manually in Photoshop sometimes, and it never turns out that well. Let's do the same thing with this one. Edit image, background remover. All right, so that is the earth, and this is maybe me saying no to what would I say no to? Like pollution, right? So if I literally type in pollution, maybe there is a photo of pollution. Let's drag, I dragged and dropped it on the wrong place. I want to drag it right there. I want to make it smaller, can move it. No to pollution. So let's actually just see what this looks like now. This is a very random presentation, but anyway, Here we go. Slide number 1, slide number 2, slide number 3. This is the Earth. No pollution. Nice. All right, let's escape. Now, let's say I want the transitions between slides to be a lot nicer, right? A smooth, maybe dissolve or something like that, or maybe it slides up from the bottom or something. How might you do that? Very simple. I'm going to right-click on these 3, or just click on these 3 dots, or right-click, and you'll see Add Transition. You can see it kind of goes from left to right, and that's where the transition is headed. So I'm going to hit Add Transition, and I'm going to hit Dissolve because I like the dissolve. And I usually like the dissolves to be a little shorter, like 0.2 seconds. I find it to be a little bit smoother that way. And if I hover my mouse over any of these, you'll actually see what that transition looks like as a preview. As you can see there, none, slide, color wipe. Anyway, what's really cool is now this transitions into this with a dissolve. But I want to do that all the way through. And all I have to do is hit Apply Between All Pages. Boom. But let's say I don't want that in one particular area. So let's say that the transition from, let's have our goals be next after the Drake Earth image. Let's do a unique transition there. I'm going to hit Change Transition, and I want that one to be maybe a stacking from the bottom, right? So this is from the top. I want it to come from the bottom like that, and maybe we'll make it a little bit longer. Actually, let's make it 1 second just so it's clear. All right, let's go back to slide 1. Hit Present and see if the transitions are the way we want. So we want this to dissolve. Very nice. Another dissolve coming. And then this one is going to slide up from the bottom, and it's going to reveal our goals. Oh, that was really nice. Very cool. Let's hit Escape. All right, let's work on this page because this is a very common use case for slides, is to kind of reveal certain elements as we go along. You'll notice that there aren't a lot of bullet points, like really long bullet point lists here. And that's actually great. It forces you to really hone in on the big ideas. And that's really key. You don't want just paragraphs and a ton of bullet points for people to read off of that you're reading off of, and then your presentation is less engaging, right? Main points, and you can reveal them sort of one after another, which is what we're going to do here in a sec. But I want to change this image because this door doesn't really mean anything to me. And I'm going to right-click that and delete it. And as you can see, there is a frame. So I'm going to go back to, let's just type in goals and see what happens. Maybe goals would be better with a bullseye or target. Yeah, I like that. So let's do bullseye. And okay, I like this. So I'm going to drag and drop this one instead. And I guess I didn't even need to delete that initial image, but there we go. Our goals, 1, 2, and 3. Now, a lot of presentation software allows you to select elements and when they appear on that particular slide. Canva currently doesn't allow that, and that's actually okay. I'm going to show you a very quick and easy way to have certain groups of text, for example, or even images appear one after another. And I actually prefer this method because many times I'm asked to export my slides or share them with people as images and not like a slide file, in which case I can still have the building of those happen in that case versus if I have to export it and it's just a single slide that, in the software animates, but on the PDF file it doesn't. It still works out this way. I think maybe they're going to open that up later, but this is how it's done. So I want goal 1, goal 2, and goal 3. I have 3 goals. So that means I'm going to make 3 different duplicates of this. So there's 1 duplicate, or I guess it's a triplicate, right? 1, 2, 3. Slide 4, 5, and 6, all the same. I'm going to go to number 4. I'm just going to drag and delete goals 2 and 3 because that's the first slide they're going to see. Here on the second slide, I'm just going to delete the last one. And then goals number 3, that'll remain on the last one there, the third one. So if I hit Present, you're going to see this. Let's go back. There's the Earth. Goals, number 1, number 2, number 3. Now let's say I was like, no, I want the goals to show up first and then number 1. So I'm going to duplicate this page and then now delete the first goal. Make sure you're not deleting other elements. If you want to select multiple elements, hold Shift and then click on those elements and then hit Delete, for example. So that will be the first one that pops up from the bottom. So let's go back to Drake, Earth, Pat, Pollution, Bad, and I'm going to hit Next. Our goals. Here are our goals for the year. Goal number 1. I'm just clicking forward. Goal number 2 and goal number 3. Very simple to do, as you can tell. Let's say we want this slide to do the same thing, but instead I want business description first, product offer first, or next, future plan next, and then target market next. So since there's 4 things, I'm going to duplicate this a few times. Command D is a very nice shortcut for this. And I'm going to go back to the first one, and I'm going to delete everything but the first one that I want to show up, right? because that will show up first. This next one will delete everything else except the one that we want to pop up. Let's see. So that's, oh, there we go. 1, 2, and then this one will be, let's see, target market will be the only one that's not there, and then boom. Okay, so let's try it from here and see what happens. Present, 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy peasy. Hitting escape. Now, let's go into the presentation sort of options here real quick. If I go to present, we've been doing standard, which allows you to, again, present and show full screen so you can preview it. If you go to autoplay, you can set the speed to automatically have slides advance based on this number right here. You see this where it says edit timing? If I say I want this to be like 1 second, right? Or I can apply it to all pages. I'm not going to go through this, but what would happen is if I hit present and then go to autoplay, I hit play, the timer's going. They will advance based on the time that you set, and that's for maybe more choreographed presentations that you might do in the future, or even like quizzes or something like that, just so you know. Presenter view is what's really special here. If I go to presenter view, you'll see 2 things pop up. I'm going to hit present, and you'll see 2 windows. You have your presenter window back there, but this audience window. Now, typically when you're in a presentation or you're in an office and you're presenting, you might have a projector or a particular monitor or screen that is showing the screen to everybody else. That is what this window is for. If you are presenting somewhere, this is what your technician would need, and they can drag and drop this to that particular screen, and then when you hit enter full screen mode, they're only seeing that slide that is sort of active, right? You are seeing what's back here. I'm just going to move this aside so you can see it. So presenter window, this is what you see. You see the current slide. This is the same thing that everybody else sees. But you also see the upcoming slides as well, which is super handy because you can just kind of lead into the next thing and then open it up. You'll also see notes for your design, and that is during your editing process, you can actually add notes and maybe handy triggers or other keywords, or tell that story or whatever it might be, to just remind you to tell that story during this particular slide, which can be really, really helpful. To get back there and actually to add those notes, it's very, very simple. All you have to do is go down here where it says notes, and I'm just going to go, hello, this is a test. I'm going to go to present and then hit presenter view. As you can see, there it is right there on the right-hand side. Hello, this is a test. And that way, again, you can be reminding yourself, essentially, your future self, to say certain things or tell certain stories, etc., which is super handy. If you have any quotes you want to share, typically, I often recommend that in the notes area, don't fill it too much. Just have trigger words and other things that can remind you about certain things. And obviously, you want to practice so you get it. Now, you might be wondering, what is this comment bubble here? This comment bubble is for your team. Perhaps you might be coordinating and working with somebody else on this presentation. So I might say, add business plans to this slide. Okay. And now anybody else who I have in this presentation kind of working on it with me can see that. And if they finish with it or they resolve it, I can hit, they can hit, or you can hit check mark, and then you'll know that that is done. This is also a great way for you to remember what things you still need to do. So as you're working through the presentation, you might say, okay, I'm going to remind myself, update the photos here. And this way, it's a reminder for you to do it before you go and actually do your presentation. It's a to-do list or checklist or reminder list for you to go back, which is really, really handy. I've used that several times. I'm just going to click on this. Now, if I go to share is really special because this is pretty unique to Canva. You're able to not just create your presentation here, but you can share it as well. You can share it with other people who you want to have access to edit it, but you can also share it with people who you are presenting it to. So this is super handy if you're going to be offering your slides to anybody. Maybe you do a webinar or speak somewhere, and you're like, hey, I'm going to give you the slides. You just give them the only view link or the view only link, and that way they can get those slides immediately without you having to export it and put it into Dropbox or something like that, or turn it into a PDF. It's all right here, which is really great. You can also present and record. If I hit present and record, that means that I can actually play the slideshow. It records my camera, and now I can turn it into a YouTube video, for example, or a helpful video for somebody else on my team if I'm presenting something. I can have the link be something that anybody can use or only I can access, etc. I can download this to my computer if I want to do it more traditionally. I can print it out if I want, and even share it on social. Now, more than likely, you're not going to be able to finish everything all in one sitting. You have only pockets of time to work on this. You go back to home, you open up Canva again somewhere else on the other side of the world, and then boom, your presentation, if you scroll down, should be right there. There's Pat's Trivia Night. I don't know why it's showing that, but there it is. Just you can pick up where you left off, and all the elements, all the graphics are here, not on your computer. So even if you were on somebody else's computer as an emergency to fix or finish something, all the elements are here. You don't have to worry about the fact that it's not on your original OG computer, except for sort of things that you didn't yet upload to the Canva system. So this is Canva. patflynn.com/Canva is my affiliate link. Check it out. Go get it for free. If you upgrade to the Pro plan, I do get a little kickback for that, and I highly recommend it because this is like the best tool in the world for presentations and just graphic design in general. I want to wish you the best of luck on your next and upcoming presentation. If you like this stuff, hit subscribe. I got more things to help you throughout your career as a creator. Let's do it. Good luck.